State of Libya. Special guest, Mr. Muhammad Zahid Ahsan Russel, Member of Parliament, Honorable Minister of State of Ministry of Youth and Sports. Special guest, Mr. Taha Ayhan, President of the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, ICYF. Guest of honor, Mr. Muhammad Mahbub Hossain, Secretary of the Secondary and Higher Education Division of Ministry of Education. Guest of honor, Mr. Ahmad Rusdi, Chairman of the Asia Pacific region. Mr. Muhammad Mahmudul Haque, National Commissioner of International Division of Bangladesh Scouts, and the chair of the ceremony, Dr. Muhammad Mozammel Khan, the Chief National Commissioner of Bangladesh Scouts and Honorable Commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission of Bangladesh. We begin with recitation from the Holy Quran by Scout Adnan Fatah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون صدق الله العظيم. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The believers are but brothers. So make settlement between your brothers and fear Allah that you may receive mercy. Allah has spoken the truth. Ameen. Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 10. Assalamu alaikum.
Now, I request Mr. Muhammad Mahmudul Haque, National Commissioner of International Division of Bangladesh Scouts, to deliver his address of welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected Chair of the opening ceremony, Dr. Muhammad Mozammel Khan, Chief National Commissioner, Bangladesh Scouts. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Dipu Moni MP, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Education. Respected Special Guest, Mr. Fathallah al-Latif al-Jami, Minister of Youth, the State of Libya. Mr. Muhammad Zahid Ahsan Russel, MP State Minister, Ministry of Youth and Sports. Mr. Taha Ayhan, President, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, ICYF. Respected guest of honors, Mr. Muhammad Ahmad Rusdi, Chairman, Asia Pacific Scout Region. Mr. ICYF, an entity affiliated to the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation OIC, made this declaration on 25th December 2020. The selection of Dhaka as the Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020 will play a significant role to reflect a positive brand image of Bangladesh globally. especially among the youth. The convergence of the year-long events with the grand celebration of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's birth centenary has amplified its significance to a great extent. 10 elaborate mega events and several ancillary events have been designed for celebrating Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020, which will be implemented through 8 lead ministries and 20 co-lead ministries round the year. Bangladesh Scouts, in collaboration with Ministry of Youth and Sports and Ministry of Education, is organizing Scout Conference for Sustainable Development on 27 to 31st May 2021 virtually. It is one of the events of Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020. The theme of the conference is Scouting for Better Environment, which is perfectly suited for the present world. 149 overseas participants from a non-OIC Muslim community and 100 local Rover Scouts from Bangladesh is participating in the conference. To make the conference memorable, some praiseworthy projects have been submitted. Dear participants, I hope there will be a good scope of sharing views and opinions among yourselves. This conference will be surely to a communication, and by your dignified ideas, this conference will get a mark of milestone. On the other hand, you will also learn some new ideas which will be added to experience as a golden mark. I personally desire your active participation in the conference. As an International Commissioner of Bangladesh Scouts and convener of Overseas Participants Management Subcommittee, I again welcome all of you. Please follow the health rules and stay safe. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words. It is time to enjoy the opening conference for sustainable development.
টেকসই উন্নয়ন লক্ষ্যমাত্রা
অর্জন করছে দেশ,
দারিদ্র বিলোপ ক্ষুধা মুক্তি
প্রচেষ্টা অশেষ,
মানসম্মত শিক্ষা সাথে সুস্বাস্থ্য কল্যাণ,
সে লক্ষ্যেই বাংলাদেশ আজ দ্রুত ধাবমান।
স্যানিটেশন আর নিরাপদ পানি,
সুস্বাস্থ্যের জন্য চাই
অসমতা হ্রাসকল্পে
পদক্ষেপ পাই।
জেনে রেখো আমরা সবাই দৃঢ়প্রত্যয়ী, ছাড়বো না হাল, দূর হবে সাময়িক মহামারী, থাকবে না আর এই ক্রান্তিকাল। We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
নারী পুরুষে সমতা
আনতে চলছে কাজ, টেকসই নগর সমাজ গড়ায় নিরলস সব সাজ, সাশ্রয়ী ও দূষণ মুক্ত জ্বালানির জন্য
কার্যক্রম চলে সদা, সত্যি যা অনন্য।
শিল্প উদ্ভাবন অবকাঠামো চলছে নির্মাণ, জলবায়ু কার্যক্রমে আছে সমান অবদান। জেনে রেখো আমরা সবাই দৃঢ়প্রত্যয়ী, ছাড়বো না হাল, দূর হবে সাময়িক মহামারী, থাকবে না আর এই ক্রান্তিকাল। We shall overcome, shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. জলজ আর স্থলজ জীবন সুনজরে আছে,
শান্তি ও ন্যায় বিচার সবখানে
সত্যি পাচ্ছি অনায়াসে। লক্ষ্য পূরণে যে অংশীদারিত্ব দরকার, সেই দিকেও নজর দিচ্ছে আমাদের সরকার। বাংলাদেশ স্কাউটস এসডিজি লক্ষ্যে সদা কাজ করে যাচ্ছে। মুজিব শতবর্ষে স্কাউটরা অঙ্গীকার করছে, বঙ্গবন্ধুর আদর্শে দেশটাকে গড়বে। জেনে রেখো আমরা সবাই দৃঢ়প্রত্যয়ী, ছাড়বো না হাল। দূর হবে সাময়িক মহামারী, থাকবে না আর এই ক্রান্তিকাল। We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
It is my privilege to invite our next guest of honor, respected Chairman of the Asia-Pacific region, Mr. Ahmad Rusdi, to kindly render his valuable speech.
Hello, are you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear. Yes, we can hear.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. His Excellency Dr. Dipu Moni, Honorable Ministers, Ministers of Education, Government of the People Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Fathallah al-Latif al-Zani, Minister of Youth, the State of Libya, Muhammad Zahid Ahsan Russel, Member of Parliament, Honorable Minister of States, Minister of Youth and Sport, Government of the People of the Republic of Bangladesh, Mr. Taha Ayhan, President of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, Mr. Mahbub, Hossain, Secretary, Secondary High School and Higher Education Division, my brothers, Mr. Mozammel Haque, Chief National Commission, Mr. Mahmud Haque, my brothers as international commissioners, my colleagues, my brothers, Rafiqul Khan, as a member of committee, Asia Pacific as well, Mr. Ahmad Maniku from Maldives, and also Mr. Nguyen Tuan from Vietnam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Brothers and sisters, Scout leaders from Bangladesh commissioners, as well as all participants of Scouts Conference for Sustainable Development. It's truly a great honor for me to be in front of, there are almost 379 participants from OIC countries of the Scout movement in the Asia Pacific regions to deliver message for this conference organized by Bangladesh Scout Association in partnerships with the Ministry of Youth and Sport governments of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, and also with the Islamic Cooperation's Youth Forum through this virtual occasion. On this special occasion, I would like also to congratulations to the people and government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, along with the grand celebration of fathers of the nation of Bangabandhu, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's, the greatest Bengali all times, birth centenary inauguration ceremony of this conference. Brothers and sisters, as we are all aware that Scout movement is being one of highest movement in the world serve to turn into a peaceful community. Scout activity is very important and very challenging. Only through our solidarity in the Asia Pacific Scout movement is a great region. We have diversity in culture, tradition, and many religions. We should maintain our solidarity. Therefore, we need to work together and more closely for real Scout in the unity. As the topics there are also at the conference as sustainable developments as mentioned by Master of Ceremony, also known that is the global goals. We are adopted by all United Nations member state in 2015 as a universal call to action to end of poverty, protect to the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. By the 17 SDGs are integrated, that is the recognize the action in one area will affect outcome in others, and that development must be balanced in social, economic aspect as well in the environment sustainable. Through the pledge to leave no one behind, countries have committed to fast-track progress for this furthers behind first. That is why SDGs are designed to bring the world to serve life-changing zeros, including zero poverty, hunger, AIDS, and discrimination against women and girls. The creativity, know-how, technology, and financial resources from all of the society necessary to achieve the SDGs in every context, everyone's need to reach this ambitious target. This valuable Scout Conference for Sustainable Developments start from today, what is the Master Ceremony say, as an important occasion for us. We shall discuss a lot of matters, not only to reflect the performance and achievement, how to apply SDGs. We shall hear a lot about the strategies of Scouting, the story of Scouting program challenges, especially we can exchange in experience to face during pandemics COVID-19. So we should work closely and design new strategy, new direction for the future Scouting. Your activity and your active in the and participation is therefore to be logged by forward in the community. Brothers and sisters, we present to this conference is so that our commitment as Scouts members in the Asia Pacific region, that is mean, this also reflected by showing our Scouting spirit in from every NSO that we are facing during the current pandemic COVID-19. All activities in the world slow down. But even though the last February 2021, our countries have started the vaccination program and have been given to the people all over the world. However, the vaccination process will take times and huge costs to be completed. It means the role and activity of scouting in our region have been very meaningful. We have been surviving not only through virtual by obtaining support from our community, not only through virtual, but also to the family, as well to the community, and through following the arrangement health of protocol. Brothers and sisters, we shall hear with many important Scout issues in SDG from every NSO in the regions. We shall hear a lot about the strategies of Scouting, success story, and also Scouting program for SDG from participants during the 3 days conference. The challenges we'll face today and the future. So your active participation is very meaningful. And as well, I do hope our conference from today, the 27th until 30th of May 2021, we will hear the experiences of resources who has an experience to apply sustainable development and how we apply sustainable development goal as our next target as global citizen. Leading role should be helping our young generation to share the spirit of Scout and grow for the future leaders. Through this conference, we can also provide output that could be benefit all communities so that we can flourish in the name of Scout as the international organization in the world to build a better future for the young generation to maintain social development goals. So we hope that all participants from OIC regions will be able to prepare to discuss and fully support any decision that will be made in the conference for better condition in each NSO for the sustainable development. Our activity is not only in the NSO, but also to work together with other parts to make SDGs, Asia Pacific region must go ahead as the main contribution to create a better world for greater prosperity. And to all the participants through this conference, we can hear your commitment to ensure that Scouting in this conference for sustainable development should be reached and teach all communities the meanings of Scouting for all. Again, thank you very much for your understanding and support for our region in the sustainable development. We need our solidarity. We should work together, hand in hand. We need your help to face the global health in the crisis. I am sure through the Scouting we can work from anywhere and anytime. Scout need to always be in readiness in mind. Brothers and sisters, I do hope that everyone is well. Wish you and all of your family and your community is in. I do hope that all happier with our solidarity and good condition. And thank you very much to all participants in this conference, especially to Bangladesh Scout Association for hosting this valuable conference for these regions. Finally, may I remind you that the Scouting should be prepared, the duty, and to be ready to do what is necessary to development goals in SDG. Scouting do not know the age. One Scouts will always be Scouts forever. Inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Syukriya Buhat Hacha. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational words. Next, I humbly request our guest of honor, the Secretary of Secondary and Higher Education Division, Ministry of Education, Mr. Mahbub Hossain, to kindly render his speech.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Dipu Moni MP, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Education, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Honorable Chair, Dr. Mozammel Haque, Chief National Commissioner of Bangladesh Scout, and Commissioner Anti-Corruption Commission of Bangladesh. Respected special guest, Mr. Fathallah al-Latif al-Zani, Honorable Minister of Youth, the State of Libya, Mr. Zahid Ahsan Russel MP, Honorable State Minister, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Mr. Taha Ayhan, Honorable President, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, Guest of Honor, Mr. Ahmad, Honorable Chairman, Asia Pacific Regional Scout Committee, and Mr. Mahmud Haque, National Commissioner, Bangladesh Scout. Distinguished guests, dear Scouts, and respected young leaders of different Muslim countries. Assalamu alaikum. At the very outset, I like to pay my deep respect to the memory of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Dear guests, as we know that Bangladesh is observing the grand celebration of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's birth centenary with due respect and solemnity. Keeping this in consideration, Bangladesh Scouts has arranged a Scout Conference for Sustainable Development in collaboration with different ministries and departments of Bangladesh, the International Union of Muslim Scouts, and Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. It is a timely conference for making the nation glorified, I strongly believe. Respected guests, Scouting exists to actively engage and support young people and empowering them to make a positive contribution to society. Basically, Scouting is for the support of young people in the society. Scouting is all about building confidence and self-esteem, learning important life skill, leadership skill, and good team building skill. Scouting provides young people with opportunities to participate in programs, events, activities, and projects that contribute to their growth as active citizens. It is the movement that brings us together globally as a member of one family. Respected guests, Muslim communities of different countries, including Bangladesh, are participating in this Scout conference. This event is for ensuring a green and secure environment that will play a significant role to reflect a positive brand image of Bangladesh globally, especially among the young people who are participating in this great event focusing on environment. We definitely have learned about different issues, especially on sustainable environment, challenges of youth in climate actions, positive environmental changes, those have taken place during the COVID-19 pandemic, and relations between SDG and Scouting. I think the objective of this program is to enlighten the Muslim community about the positive changes in the environment due to the pandemic, to bring the Scouts of the OIC nations and non-OIC Muslim community together. I hope that the conference will raise awareness and a sense of responsibility among the participants. This will help not only Muslim community, but also the global movement on sustainable development, I strongly believe. I would like to thank all the participants, respected guests, and organizers from home and abroad for arranging such an important conference. Finally, I like to say that Scout can overcome all odds that we face today and the days to come. Allah Hafiz, Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu, may Bangladesh live forever. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your graceful speech. Now, we will watch a presentation on Bangladesh Scouts.
Retired British General Lord Baden-Powell introduced Scouting in 1907 with the aim of developing the physical, intellectual, social, emotional, and spiritual qualities of boys and girls by training them in the Scouting method. Scouting started in 1914 at St. Gregory's School in Dhaka in the undivided Bengal. The great call of Bangabandhu for our independence.
এবারে সংগ্রাম আমাদের মুক্তির সংগ্রাম এবারে সংগ্রাম স্বাধীনতার সংগ্রাম
Bangladesh emerged as an independent country in 1971 after a gruesome, bloody liberation war. The price was, inter alia, life of 3 million martyrs. In the new country, on April 8, 1972, the National Scout Organization with 56,000 members started as Bangladesh Boy Scout Shumiti. The NSO was recognized on September 9, 1972 under the Presidential Ordinance number 111, and Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, took oath as the Chief Scout of the country. Bangladesh Scouts was recognized as the 105th member of the World Scout Association in 1974. The name Bangladesh Boy Scout Shumiti was changed to Bangladesh Scouts in 1978. In the Golden Jubilee of our independence in 2021, a target was fixed to have 2.1 million Scout members. With this great target achieved, now the number of Scouts in the country is 2.21 million. Bangladesh is the 5th largest Scouting country in the world out of 171 NSOs. Besides boys, Girl in Scouting was introduced in 1994. Differently abled children also participate in Scouting activities side by side with the regular Scouts. Scout activities for street children, Ticket to Life, are going on across the country. Ethnic boys and girls are regularly participating in the Scouting activities. Bangladesh Scouts takes the pride of making innumerable good citizens as a result of continuous training of Cub Scouts, Scouts and Rover Scouts. To recognize and encourage quality in Scouting, there are awards. The highest award of Cub Scouts, Shapla Cub Award, is presented by the Honorable Prime Minister. In 1997, Shapla Cub Award was presented for the first time by Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. His Excellency the President and Chief Scout presents the highest award of Scout, President's Scout Award, and Rover Scouts, President's Rover Scouts Award. Also, the adult leaders receive Silver Hilsa and Silver Tiger Awards from His Excellency the President and Chief Scout in recognition to their work. The National Council is the highest policy-making body of the Bangladesh Scouts. His Excellency the President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh and Chief Scout is the head of this council. The National Scouts Training Center NSTC presently works on a 100-acre land. Honorable Prime Minister has assured of allocating some 100 acres of land additionally for it. With the financial support of the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Primary and Mass Education, the construction of the country's first animation studio, the construction of the Century Scout building, and various construction of scout buildings at district and sub-district levels. Other facilities are underway. National Cup Camporee for Cub Scouts, National Scout Jamboree for Scouts, Rover Moot for Rover Scouts, and ComDeca or Community Development Camp for running community development activities are organized with an usual interval of 4 years. Bangladesh Scouts arranges ICT camps in various parts of the country and also participates in various international events. As part of community service, Scouts create awareness about flood support, tree plantation, primary health care activities, traffic control, Aedes mosquito eradication for dengue prevention, firefighting, assistance in vaccination activities, and sensitizing the dangers and prevention measures of the current COVID pandemic, and so on. Extending all kinds of help to honorable pilgrims while they await the flights to Holy Haque. Proudly recalls is the service provided to Rohingya refugees. Continues its day-to-day program online during the COVID pandemic. Bangladesh Scouts are moving forward under the guidance of His Excellency the President, Honorable Prime Minister, and Honorable Minister of Education.
The next dignitary to honor us with his presence is our special guest, President of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum ICYF, Mr. Taha Ayhan.
Can you hear me? Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay. Distinguished ladies, guests, and gentlemen, I would like to greet His Excellency Zahid Russel, Member of Parliament and State Minister of Youth and Sports of Bangladesh, His Excellency Fathallah al-Latif al-Zani, Minister of Youth and Sports of State of Libya, and my brother also, Dr. Dipu Moni, Honorable Minister of Education of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mahbub al-Haque, National Commissioner of Bangladesh Scouts, His Excellency Ahmad Rusdi, the Chairman of Asia Pacific Region, His Excellency Mahmoud Hossain, Secretary of Secondary and Higher Secondary Division of Minister of Education of Bangladesh, Dr. Mozammel Khan, Chief National Commissioner of Bangladesh Scouts and Commissioner of Anti-Corruption Commission, and all the panelists, moderators, precious participants of this wonderful program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am most pleased and honored to be with you all today in this precious conference, which is jointly organized by ICYF and Dhaka OIC Youth Capital Team from Bangladesh side to scout for better environment. I would like to thank our valuable team members, colleagues, and juries for bringing talented and enthusiastic youth together through this program, which will give them a chance to share their thoughts and ideas on the topic. Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, sustainable development or environmental sustainability is responsible on interacting with the planet to maintain natural resources and avoid jeopardizing the ability for future generations to meet their needs. In the 2030 Agenda, world leaders affirmed that they are determined to protect the planet from degradation, including through sustainable consumption and production, sustainable managing its natural resources, and taking urgent action on climate change so that it can support the needs of the present and future generations. United Nations Environment Challenge in 2030 Agenda is to develop and enhance integrated approaches to sustainable development, approaches that will demonstrate how improving the health of the environment will bring social and economic benefits. Engaging youth in community efforts to promote environmental sustainability has important implications for young people as well as for communities in which they live. For young people, active involvement in community concerns such as environmental sustainability, is one of the many processes known to foster positive youth development. For example, completing service projects, serving on decision-making committees, or for example, organizing special events for opportunities for young people to contribute toward lasting community change. Given this evidence, engaging youth in important community issues such as environmental sustainability is a promising approach for fostering positive youth development. As environmental concerns escalate around the globe, unfortunately, of course, young people are taking action like never before. I believe that young people bring a fresh perspective, energy, drive, and a sense of what is possible. There's much we can do to learn from and support their efforts. To effectively address environmental challenges, they must be well understood. Through clear and complete assessment of the environment, governments, non-governmental organizations, and the general public are better informed about the issues of environment is facing today, the success and the failures in addressing these issues, and most importantly, provide options for action to make sure that the problems of today will have solutions by tomorrow. With today's youth population and further growth anticipated for the near future, investments in youth must be channeled to enable them to adopt sustainable methods for environmental protection. Youth efforts range from local initiatives to international campaigns, some influential enough to reach policymakers and national leaders. As more youth connect, they are also using virtual platforms to educate, raise awareness, and expand outreach to share knowledge. Additionally, youth are taking advantage of availability and accessibility of information and technology to engage in all levels of environmental governance, especially towards implementing the Sustainable Development Goals, or namely the SDGs. According to the World Program of Action on Youth, youth participation is crucial, but supporting youth participation and engagement in environmental preservation requires a holistic and inclusive approach. Youth are willing to take the lead to meaningfully engage in platforms related to protection of the environment at the local level, national level, and global level also. However, to harness their talents and innovations, there's need to ensure that youth are equal and also equal partners and torchbearers in creating and implementing the goals toward environmental sustainability. As a youth institution in ICYF, we always say that youth are backbone of the nation. They can change the future of the society with their well-being and courageous behavior. In this context, we try to create opportunities for youth to reveal their potential and their power and abilities as the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. In terms of opportunities, I would like to emphasize the Dhaka OIC Youth Capital, which gave us a great chance to find out powerful, valuable young brothers and sisters from all over the world, especially from Bangladesh this year. This program, the SCART Conference for Sustainable Development, is one of the mega events which are successfully held under Dhaka OIC Youth Capital. I wish we can organize it on site, but okay, now we have to organize it in virtual reality due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And I feel so proud and happy that our youth are very interested in such events. We have more than 150 enthusiastic participants from 37 different countries. And now I'm seeing the results and figures. For the moment, I think there are more than 400 people who are watching this event. And I would like to thank and congratulate all of them for their contribution to this conference and to the Sustainable Development Goals. Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, ICYF, aims to ensure that Muslim youth actualize their full potential for their sustainable development of their respective communities and nations on 7 pillars representing urgent needs of young people, namely the culture, the social awareness, economic empowerment, environment, art, youth development, and networking, designed in line with the OIC Youth Strategy and Sustainable Development Goals. In this regard, this conference brings international SCAT groups from the OIC region and beyond in order to discuss the best practices on positive environmental changes and actions. The conference will also develop practical models and campaigning manuals to be promoted at national and international level virtually. Effective sustainable development cooperation will require the formation of issue-based partnerships and platforms to bring together multiple stakeholders as governments or civil society or private sector to improve decision-making, strategic planning, service delivery, knowledge sharing, and collective monitoring and accountability at all levels. As a youth organization that unites the youth in Islamic countries and all over the world and tries to be their voice, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, ICYF, is always ready to do whatever it can do and cooperate with any stakeholder, any partner or institution whose priority is the development and betterment of youth. ICYF is always open and eager to take their responsibility for joining efforts in climate action with its member organizations and youth profile. While reiterating my profound thanks to you all, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, to grant us success in our new programs and projects, which will certainly serve the youth of the Ummah faculty. And again, salam to all of my sisters and brothers to all the world, and especially Bangladesh, from Baku, Azerbaijan, from our regional office of Eurasian Regional Office of ICYF. Thank you for your kind.
Thank you, sir, for your marvelous speech. Now, we will watch a dance performance.
নম্বর ছাড়িয়া নাই তেরে দে মাঝি ভাই খাতা মোড়াইয়া নাই gange dai kache dekho bar ore 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 gange dai kache dekho bar.
Next, I welcome our special guest, Honorable Member of the Parliament and the State Minister of Ministry of Youth and Sports, Mr. Zahid Ahsan Russel, to deliver his valuable speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chair, Dr. Mozammel Haque, Chief National Commissioner, Bangladesh Scouts and Commissioner Anti-Corruption Commission, Honorable Chief Guest, Her Excellency Dr. Dipu Moni MP, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Education, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Honorable Special Guest, His Excellency Mr. Fathallah al-Latif al-Zani, Honorable Minister of Youth, the State of Libya, Special Guest, His Excellency, my brother, Mr. Taha Ayhan, Honorable President, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, Guest of Honor, Mr. Mahbub Hossain, Secretary, Secondary and Higher Education Division, Ministry of Education, and Mr. Ahmad Rusdi, Chairman, Asia Pacific Region Scouts, Chairman, Conference Management Committee, Mr. Fathallah, National Commissioner of Bangladesh Scouts, distinguished guests, media representative, ladies and gentlemen, and young leaders of different countries, dear participants, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon to you all. First of all, I would like to recall with profound respect, Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. I humbly recall the sacrifices of our martyrs of the Great Liberation War, which ultimately led to the independence of Bangladesh. I would also like to take this opportunity in expressing my sincerest gratitude to our Honorable Prime Minister, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina, for her dynamic leadership in attaining the Shunar Bangla, meaning a prosperous Bangladesh, as has been dreamed and aspired by Bangabandhu. It is through her visionary policy directives that Bangladesh is harnessing the power of its youth, targeted towards full utilization of our demographic dividend for attaining our ultimate development goal of Vision 2041. Ladies and gentlemen, I am glad to know that the Scout Conference for Sustainable Development is being held with the participation of OIC member states and the Muslim community in virtual platform. The conference reunites us all at the end of the Muslim world's largest religious event, Ramadan and the Holy Eid al-Fitr. I extend my best wishes and congratulations to all the participants, including the distinguished guests and dignitaries. Dhaka OIC Youth Capital Program is an important milestone on the occasion of the birth centenary of greatest Bengali of all time, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of the nation, to bring together young representatives of 1/3 of the population. We are also celebrating the glorious 50th anniversary of independence of Bangladesh, and this conference is also part of that celebration. We want to share this joy with everyone. Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020 has organized a colorful program throughout the year under the management of Ministry of Youth and Sports with the assistance of other 6 ministries. The conference is being organized by Bangladesh Scouts in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. I sincerely thank the Ministry of Education and Bangladesh Scouts. I think that this conference will extend brotherhood and mutual cooperation among the Muslim community throughout the world. Dear participants, the theme of the conference has been set at Scouting for Better Environment. I think this theme is very relevant for the time being. Coping with climate change is a common problem for the whole world. We all have to work hand to hand to overcome this problem. The underdeveloped world is at risk more than the developed world. Climate, environment, hunger, poverty, are common problem in the world. The SDGs 2030 have been adopted by the United Nations to overcome this problem. The motto of SDGs 2030 is "No one life behind." I believe that our young people will be able to express their thoughts on all these issues at this conference. Ministry of Youth and Sports is playing a vital role to make vibrant the youth force through proper training. By 2030, we shall provide training to more than 8 million NEET youth with the help of other 6 ministries. Among them, Ministry of Youth and Sports will provide more than 4.1 million NEET youth. Ladies and gentlemen, besides the ideas of the youth in achieving these goals, especially environment and climate change will also be presented in the form of project papers. So the participants of this conference are from Muslim countries. There are differences in social and cultural environment due to geographical location. So the thoughts of Bangladesh may not be similar to other Muslim countries. We need to work together to tackle climate change, protect biodiversity, make renewable energy accessible, and accelerate efforts to achieve sustainable development goals. Dear Scouts friends, I believe that each participant will share their idea, experience, and evolved knowledge from the conference, which will strengthen our relationship. I think that the conference will end on May 31st, but our relationship and communication should not end. I am happy to know that the global issues have touched our young people. The solution to this problem may not be in the hands of anyone together, but young people are the driving force of the future. I urge young people to think, analyze, and research more on all these issues. The common problem need to be addressed by sharing the result of the research among themselves. COVID-19 has created distance between us, but technology has brought us closer. So we'll have to work together to address the global common problem through sharing the ideas in virtual platform, social media, etc. Dear participants, we need to make our youth more efficient so that they can discover the world and innovate new technologies. I would urge the OIC and ICYF to involve the youth of Muslim countries in technology innovation in the coming days. Those of you who attended this conference are lucky representatives of 1/3 of the world population. This conference will introduce you to well-known people in the world. The knowledge you will gain from this will be useful in your later life. I think that those of you who have participated from about 60 countries and communities around the world, the next 5 days, through our mutual exchange, a common opinion and path will be formed. Bangladesh is a role model of development in all sectors in the world. Already we achieved developing country milestone under the prudent leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Distinguished guests, I believe that by participating in this conference, the Scouts will become more efficient and self-confident by making friends with each other and expanding the knowledge by gaining acquaintance among the Scouts at home and abroad. I sincerely thank all those involved in organizing, conducting, and implementing this conference and the resource persons. We again greet the participants from their active participation. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu. May the Scout Conference be successful. May Bangladesh live forever. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational words. Now, we will enjoy a song dedicated to the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman.
আজ বাঙালি চির উন্নত তুমি বীর হে মুজিব তুমি বীর তুমি শ্রেষ্ঠ এক প্রতিরোধ প্রতিভা তুমি জাগ্রত স্বার্থহীন জনতা তুমি শ্রেষ্ঠ এক প্রতিরোধ প্রতিভা তুমি জাগ্রত স্বার্থহীন জনতা তুমি বীর হে মুজিব তুমি বীর তোমার জন্য আজ বাঙালি চির উন্নত তুমি বীর হে মুজিব তুমি বীর সতেরোই মার্চ জন্ম তোমার এই বাংলার টুঙ্গি পাড়ায় ছিলে মায়ের কোলে এক ছোট্ট খোকা এরপর ধীরে ধীরে বাঙালি জাতির পিতা জাতির পিতা জাতির পিতা জাতির পিতা শত বর্ষ ধরে হে মুজিব তুমি চেতনা রবে অম্লান চিরকাল বিনম্র শ্রদ্ধা শত বর্ষ ধরে হে মুজিব তুমি চেতনা রবে অম্লান চিরকাল বিনম্র শ্রদ্ধা হে মুজিব তুমি বীর হে মুজিব তুমি বীর তোমার জন্য আজ বাঙালি চির উন্নত তুমি বীর হে মুজিব তুমি বীর হে মুজিব তুমি বীর হে মুজিব তুমি বীর
Next, I request our special guest, Mr. Fathallah al-Latif Al-Zani, Minister of Youth, the State of Libya, to kindly deliver his speech. Mr. Fathallah al-Latif Al-Zani, Minister of Youth, the State of Libya, to kindly deliver his speech. We think he is yet to join. Let us proceed with the next segment.
At this point, we will watch a presentation on the outline of the Scout Conference for Sustainable Development.
Now, it is time to listen to the precious speech by the Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of the Ministry of Education of the Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Dr. Dipu Moni, Member of Parliament. I very humbly request her to kindly come up on screen and deliver her speech for all and to declare the conference open.
Honorable Chair of the inaugural ceremony, Dr. Mozammel Haque, Chief National Commissioner of Bangladesh Scouts and Commissioner Anti-Corruption Commission Bangladesh. Special guests, Mr. Fathallah al-Latif al-Zani, Minister of Youth, the State of Libya, and Mr. Zahid Ahsan Russel MP, Honorable State Minister, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, and Mr. Taha Ayhan, President, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. Guests of honor, Mr. Ahmad Rusdi, Chairman, Asia Pacific Region Scout Committee, and Mr. Mahbub Hossain, Secretary, Ministry of Education, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Distinguished guests, dear participating scouts and young leaders from different Muslim countries, Assalamu alaikum. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to be here amongst all of you today. While we are in the midst of celebrating the birth centenary of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and the golden jubilee of our independence. At the outset, I recall with deepest gratitude, love, and respect our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the greatest Bengali of all times, and the 3 million martyrs of our War of Independence. Our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, firmly believed in humanity and mutual cooperation. Bangladesh continues to maintain friendly relations with all member states of OIC and plays significant role in upholding Muslim solidarity in pursuit of the greater Islamic values of fraternity, justice, cohesion, and inclusion as a whole. Through our relationship with the Muslim countries on the basis of sovereignty, we have paved the way for contributing together in the promotion of peace in our region and around the world. The youth can make huge contribution by taking part in the decision-making processes through engaging themselves in generating ideas and innovations and build a future which would be resilient and sustainable. COVID-19 pandemic has placed extraordinary demands on leaders everywhere, governments, private sector, the international community, and beyond. What leadership needs during a crisis is not a predetermined response plan, but responsible behaviors and open and helpful mindsets of the people involved in the process. There are numerous scopes and opportunities around us to work together for the betterment and welfare of the people of the Muslim Ummah. In view of the current global scenario, the relationship among the OIC member states should be based on mutual trust, understanding, and cooperation. Exchange of knowledge and expertise in various fields can help everyone to improve the level of standard of living for all of us. We all know that SDGs mainly aim at raising our living standards. Our success in achieving MDGs has been globally acclaimed, and now we are working towards implementing the SDGs. Our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had the opportunity to attend the signing ceremony of MDGs in 2000 and SDGs in 2015 at the United Nations General Assembly. The 17 goals and the 169 targets for which indicators exist and monitoring systems are being set form the basis of a new social contract between the world's leaders and their peoples. SDG implementation is important for countries like ours, who are most vulnerable in terms of high population growth, recurrent global economic recession, rising income inequalities, and climate change. A total of 230 indicators of SDGs were earmarked in 2016. Data is available on education and health, that we have gathered while working with the MDGs. Resource mapping was conducted to identify resources available for the implementation of the SDGs. We had adopted our national 7th five-year plan for 2015-2020, aligning the same with the Global Development Agenda, that is the SDGs. We have also aligned our 8th five-year plan for 2020 to 2025 and the 9th five-year plan for 2025 and 2030 with the SDGs. All ministries of the government of Bangladesh are now working to develop action plans for achieving the SDG targets. Youth development and sustainable development are inextricably linked with one another. Without involving the youth in the mainstream development activities, sustainable development will be a far cry. Leaders across the world are now convinced that achievement of sustainable development largely depends on the spirit of work of the youth. Youth, being the most energetic segment of the country's population, can contribute in a broader way towards socioeconomic advancement and environmental conservation than people of other age groups. As a signatory to the SDGs, Bangladesh has formulated, as I have already mentioned, our 7th, 8th, and 9th five-year plans, aligning these with the SDGs. Likewise, different national policies, including National Youth Policy 2017, are very much aligned with the SDGs. Dear participants, we live in a world where acute poverty and destitution coexist with extreme wealth, where 1 in 8 among us live in extreme poverty and 2 in 5 are without access to adequate sanitation, where rates of maternal and child mortality are unacceptably high and millions of our children are still out of school, where many women and girls are deprived from equal opportunities, and where the capacity of oceans to provide their vital services and the survival of the planet's biodiversity are at great risk. Needless to say, the task in front of us is huge and urgent. Indeed, world leaders acknowledged this and have committed to eradicate poverty for all times. They have committed to ensure that all people can fulfill their potential in dignity and equality, peace and security, and they have agreed to protect the richness of life and nature on our planet, the only home that we have. We live in a world where changes are profound and very rapid, and no country can stand alone. The world's interlinked threats and challenges require everyone to share responsibility and contribute to a common vision. That is why the goals speak of many common concerns of countries at all levels of development, whether youth unemployment and widening inequalities, increasing natural disasters and threats from climate change that include industrial pollution, degradation of ecosystems, loss of biodiversity, or weaknesses in social coherence, management of the state, and violence. The 2030 Agenda recognizes this change by moving beyond a strategy to just develop poor countries to a universal plan applicable to all. Sustainable development cannot be achieved unilaterally by one country. Probably the most significant change in the paradigm brought about by this new agenda is the affirmation that if a significant economic or social group is left behind, our development is not sustainable. That is why the 2030 Agenda includes a common commitment to leave no one behind. That is why we need to work together to find solutions that are sustainable and durable, and that recognize our interdependence with each other and with all life on Earth. To ensure ownership of the 2030 Agenda, we need to reach out to young people and make them excited about the SDGs. That will build a whole generation of change makers who can take this agenda forward. The 2030 Agenda is our collective key to unlocking that hope and opportunities. By working together, we can say to the people and children of this world that the 2030 Agenda is not just a new deal among nations, but a solemn promise to all its people. I quote, "The mission of Scouting is to contribute to the education of young people through a value system based on the Scout promise and law, to help build a better world where people are self-fulfilled as individuals and play a constructive role in society," end of quote. Scouting gives young people the opportunity to develop the skills and knowledge, empowering them to take an active part in the movement and in their communities. I'm grateful that Bangladesh Scouts has been selected as host of the Scout Conference for the Sustainable Development on the occasion of the declaration of the OIC Youth Capital 2020. I congratulate and thank them for organizing such an important event. I'm also thankful to the Ministry of Youth and Sports of Bangladesh, and especially the Minister, for patronizing this event. I'm confident that not only the participants, but also the member countries will be benefited to have skilled and motivated youth. Let us turn up the voice of the youth for a sustainable, peaceful, just, and better tomorrow for everyone on this planet that we call our home. Thank you all for your patient hearing. I wish this event a grand success. And with this, I declare this conference open. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu. May Bangladesh live forever.
Thank you, sir, for your momentous and encouraging words. Now, we will enjoy a dance performance.
حبيبي يا نور العين يا ساكن خيالي عاشق بقالي سنين ولا غيرك في بالي حبيبي يا نور العين يا ساكن خيالي عاشق بقالي سنين ولا غيرك في بالي حبيبي يا نور العين يا ساكن خيالي عاشق بقالي سنين ولا غيرك في بالي حبيبي يا نور العين يا ساكن خيالي عاشق بقالي سنين ولا غيرك في بالي حبيبي 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 يا نور العين 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 يا ساكن خيالي أجمل عيون في الكون أنا شفتها الله عليك الله على سحرها أجمل عيون في الكون أنا شفتها الله عليك الله على سحرها عيونك معايا عيونك كفاية عيونك معايا عيونك كفاية تنور ليالي حبيبي حبيبي ناداني وقال بتحبني الله عليك الله طمنتني قلبك ناداني وقال بتحبني الله عليك الله طمنتني معاك البداية وكل الحكاية معاك البداية وكل الحكاية معاك للنهاية حبيبي 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 يا نور العين حبيبي 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 يا نور العين
At this point, we humbly invite the chair of this ceremony, the Chief National Commissioner of Bangladesh Scouts and Honorable Commissioner of Anti-Corruption Commission of Bangladesh, Dr. Mozammel Haque.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Respected Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Ministry of Education, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Dr. Dipu Moni MP, Honorable Special Guests, Mr. Fathallah al-Latif al-Zani, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Youth and State of Libya, Mr. Zahid Hassan Russel, MP, Honorable State Minister, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Mr. Taha, Ayhan, President of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, ICYF, Guest of Honor of the gracious ceremony, dear Mr. Mahbub Hossain, Secretary, Secondary and Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Mr. Ahmad Rusdi, Chairman, Asia Pacific Regional Scouts Committee, members of Organizing Committee, invited guests, officials from different levels, viewers of the online program, and dear participants. Assalamu alaikum, and a very good afternoon. I feel honored and privileged to be here in the historic inauguration ceremony of Scout Conference for Sustainable Development. I am much pleased that with a view to turning up the voice of the youth and making the overall youth betterment, OIC Youth Capital is organizing this conference online. You may be aware that the Organization of Islamic Cooperation region is constituted by 1/3 of the youth of its total population, which is more than 1.2 billion. The purpose behind the OIC Youth Capital International Program is to provide a year-long platform to foster cooperation among the member states, especially in the field of youth policy, as well as enhancing Muslim youth solidarity. Now, we are talking about the development which must sustain. If we look back, it was the turn of MDG. In 2000, the United Nations announced the Millennium Development Goals, which ended in 2015. Bangladesh has shown remarkable success in achieving the MDGs. In the language of the United Nations, Bangladesh is called MDGs role model because she is quite successful in achieving the Millennium Development Goals MDGs within the stipulated time. In recognition of outstanding role in youth skill development, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, honored our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina with the Champion of Skill Development for Youth Award. We are proud and grateful enough that Bangladesh was declared as the OIC Youth Capital 2020, denoting a significant recognition for the able leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her spirited government in the youth sector. With the celebration of the birth centenary of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the initiative of implementing the various activities throughout the year, including the Social Scout Conference for Sustainable Development, has been further glorified. Since the establishment of OIC Youth Capital in the OIC Foreign Ministers Conference in Kuwait on May 2015, the organization is working to unite the youth with the sense of solidarity and strengthen the brotherly ties in a certain city of OIC member countries each year. This time, in 2021, this gathering named Scout Conference for Sustainable Development is being organized online to better know one another, create solidarity, introduce and promote their cultures and traditions, and above all, build communication skills and develop themselves in international arena. It is very much important that the youth participants of this conference also be able to focus on the burning issues and the best practices of the initiatives that can be adopted by the countries on individual level to change and make it better. And hence, the theme of this conference, Scouting for Better Environment, has rightly been chosen. At this august moment, I like to recall the message of the father of Scouting, Baden-Powell, who said, in Scouting, a boy is encouraged to educate himself instead of being instructed. So I believe that the participants of this conference are already self-motivated to practice the best in the country they live in, thereby save the individual and environment as well as the earth. I am grateful to ICYF, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who jointly created the opportunities to make the Bangladesh Scouts proud as a partner of this historical event. The organizing committee is working hard to make the conference meaningful, and therefore I sincerely thank all the committee members, especially my colleague, the chairman of the committee, Mr. Fasiullah. I also congratulate the prize-winning participants in advance. I wish the conference a grand success. Stay safe. May Allah bless you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir, for your motivational speech. Once again, we thank everyone on this virtual platform for being with us today.
Please keep an eye on Bangladesh Scouts official Facebook page and the event page to get the latest updates on Scout Conference for Sustainable Development. Stay home, stay safe, enjoy the conference. Bye for now.